This is Algebra 2, Chapter 8, Section 2, in which we will be adding and subtracting rational expressions. Okay. Like we mentioned last time, these things involve the same rules that you used in elementary school to work with fractions. If you're going to add or subtract, the first thing you have to do is have a common denominator. Then your job is to rewrite each of the fractions using that common denominator. Add or subtract as indicated. Make sure you're only dealing with the numerators at that point. The denominator stays whatever that common denominator is. 2/7 plus 3/7 is 5/7, not 5/14. Okay, so make sure your denominator stays the same and then simplify as much as you can, like we did on the last video. And they're going to ask you some warm-up type problems to get you into the idea of finding common denominators. So they're going to ask you to find the least common multiple of each thing. Well, the best tactic for finding least common multiple is to break it down into factors. So 12a squared b, 12 is 4 times 3, which is 2 times 2 times 3, times a squared times b. 15abc is 3 times 5 times a times b times c. And 8 is 2 to the third. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And then you have the b cubed and c to the fourth. Now the idea is everything that's listed as a factor over here needs to be represented in this box I'm about to show you. So we have 2 2's, no 2's, 3 2's. I need to have all 3 2's listed. So all 3 2's are in the box. I have a 3, I have a 3. I don't have any 3's, so I need 1 3. 1 3 will do it for both of these. I also need a 5. I need 2 A's because there's 2 A's here and nothing higher. 1B, 1B, 3 B's, so I need 3 B's. 1 C, 4 C's, so I need 4 C's. Cleaning up the arithmetic, we get 120 a squared b to the third c to the fourth. Just like you found LCMs back in elementary, same set of rules apply, we just have variables involved. Okay. Let's do another one where we have to do some factoring of polynomials. We're going to factor this first one, which is take out a common 4, and then I can break that down from there. In the second one, we can take out a common a, and then we can break that down. Now, what needs to be our LCM? We need a 4. We need an a minus 4. We need an a plus 1. We need an a, and we need an a minus 5. So I've got all those pieces represented. A good thing to do when you're looking at your LCM is check these off. Is everything here in this row, everything in this row right there, listed in the final answer? If everything here is in here, then you're in good shape. So let's do a little adding and a little subtracting. We need to get a common denominator. So we need to make each one of these into the common denominator, which is things that are missing. Ten is 2 times 5. So this one over here needs a 2, right? so that I can make them match, they each need a 2. They already both have a 5. This one's got 3 A's, this one only has 1, so it needs 2 more A's. This one has 2 B's, this one only has 1, so it needs 1 more B. Okay. And that's what I've multiplied by in the first fraction. I've multiplied by a 2. In the second fraction, I've multiplied by an a squared b. Notice I did it to both the numerator and the denominator. There's an old rule in mathematics, whatever you do to one part, you have to do to the other part. So I multiplied by 2, I have to multiply by 2. Now it's just cleanup work. 2 times 4 is 8. 9 times a squared times b times c, all over 10a cubed b squared. Nothing in common between these to factor, so nothing to have to work with. That one is as far as it goes. Alright, let's try this one. We have a subtraction going on. 16 is 4 times 4, so that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. There's not a 5 in that, so I'm going to need to give this one a 5. There's no 16 over here, so I'm going to need to give this one a 16. Okay. This one has 2 B's, this one only has 1, so it needs another B. Again, sorry the B's and the 6's look alike. Writing with a touchpad isn't exactly easy. This one has an a cubed and this one doesn't, so it needs an a cubed. And you'll see that's what we've used at this step. We've multiplied by the 5 and the a cubed on the first one, and the 16 and the b on the second one. Now it's just a matter of cleaning up. This is 15 a to the 5th. This is 16 times 8 is 128 bx. 8 times 15 is 80 a cubed b squared. Nothing in common amongst everything, so we're good. Okay. Now it gets a little more involved when you have to factor the denominators. So we're going to do one like that where we have to do some factoring. We're going to do a couple this way. I'm going to factor this using the rules that I learned back earlier in the year, Chapter 5. Okay. So that's going to factor into 4x plus 1 times x plus 5. If I take the 3 out of this, I'm going to have a 3 and a 4x plus 1. Okay. What's missing? The one on the left needs a 3. The fraction on the right needs an x plus 5. In the interest of space, I've combined that step together with this one. We needed a 3 here, so I gave a 3 to this one. We needed an x plus 5. So I've put an x plus 5 on this one. Okay, you see it there, 6 times x plus 5. 3 times x minus 8, just in the interest of saving a little space. Now I can distribute. Okay, now I can collect the terms. Now when I look at this, there's something in common between these terms. So I can take a 3 out of each one. And now those two 3's can cancel out. And we get to our final answer. Okay, let's do the next one, where we have a subtraction. Now with the subtraction, people have a tendency to make a mistake, and I'll call your attention to it when we get to that step. First step is we need to factor. So we factored and we factored. Now we start playing the what's missing game. What's missing from this group that's over here? There's a 5. So I need to give this side a 5. What's missing over here that's on the left is an x minus 3. So I'm going to give this one an x minus 3 and also to the top. And that's what I've done on this step. I've put the 5 with the first part and the x minus 3 with the second part. Now it's distributing time, and here's the mistake that people tend to make. All right, right there. That's the one that people tend to make the mistake on. 5 distributes here, and people have no problem with that. Negative 4 distributes. Okay. Negative 4 distributes. So negative 4 times x. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. Now when we collect up terms, we get to the right answer, x plus 7 over our denominator. Now, one more idea. We have to re-examine the idea of the complex fractions. There are multiple ways of dealing with these when there's addition and subtraction going on. The method I like the best is to get everybody to the same common denominator. The denominator here is a b, this one is an a. These two don't have denominators printed. If they don't print one, it's assumed to be a 1. So I'm going to get everything to the same denominator and multiply by that denominator to each term. Common denominator is b times a. So I'm going to multiply each one by b times a. Now what happens? B cancels b. A cancels a. Now what have we got? We've got a squared plus 1 times ab is ab. ab minus b times b is b squared. Okay. We take care of the problem of having multiple fractions here by using one common denominator for everybody. Let's tangle with the last one here. We again have complex fractions, so we're looking for a common denominator. That common denominator is going to be x times y. So I'm going to multiply each term by x times y. X times y is just xy. Here the x's cancel. Okay. Same thing here, these x's cancel. And these y's cancel. When we do that, what are we left with? xy plus 2y over 3x minus 4y. Yes, there's a lot going on here, but it's skills that you already have. Just concentrate, focus on your job, and you'll be able to handle it. If you had questions along the way, hopefully you wrote those down. Bring them in, and we'll see you in class.